Ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't want to repeat the introductions, just to welcome you to our 19 Daily Trust Dialogue and to thank you for taking the trouble to attend. I think all of us must thank God for both his big and small mercies, that difficult as things are in our country, democratic rule has continued to thrive. In trying to justify the need for the sustenance of democracy in all human societies, libertarian theorists have argued that the very spirit itself prevails among men and women of all spaces and ages because it is the very spirit of liberty. Our own democratic journey started, or the one which I've been on has been since 1999, full of up and downs, as you all know. We had 6 general elections in 1999, 2003, 2007, 2011, 2015, and 2019. I would not like to dwell on whether those elections were credible, free, or fair. We have gone past them. What is obvious is that despite the imperfections, those electoral experiences have given us opportunities for introspection and learning and provide basis for strengthening our democratic institutions. Now, to borrow from the late Chief M.K.O. Abiola's presidential campaign slogan, which you might remember from 1993, Nigeria is on the march again. Politicians rumored to be eyeing the most coveted seat in the land, the presidency, are abandoning doublespeak and openly declaring their intentions. This march towards the 2023 general elections has started amid uncertainties about the possibility of free and fair polls. This is in part because President Buhari has, for the second time in 3 years, withheld his assent to an amended electoral law. If you recall, he has done so on the eve of the 2019 general elections. Many citizens are optimistic that the amended Electoral Act 2021 will provide the basis for enhancing transparency in our electoral process. After the promised adjustments by the National Assembly, which has been announced in the last few days, I think that the President will have no choice but to sign the latest version of this Electoral Act. Besides the concerns over the unsigned electoral legislation, the age-old debate over power shift is still a contentious matter as we count down to February 18, 2023, which, as you recall, is the date INEC has promised us to hold the next presidential election. The familiar ethnic and religious jingoism threatens to becloud the debate about who has the right to contest for what position. This political storm is brewing at a time when the Nigerian economy is not in the best of shape. The country is hurting from the protracted impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Our revenues may be growing, but so is our population, along with the twin evils of poverty and unemployment. We are confronted by intractable security challenges and an atmosphere of fear that pervades all parts of the country, especially its northern part. The Buhari administration has made repeated promises to deal with insecurity, but the situation appears to be getting out of control each passing day. All these have created a tense and uncertain atmosphere. So I think it is legitimate to ask, will there be free and fair elections in Nigeria in 2023? It's not my place to answer this question. I believe the eminent speakers gathered here are capable of analyzing the issues and providing informed forecasts as to what to expect in the months ahead. The chair of today's dialogue, former military head of state General Abdullahi Abubakar, is no stranger to our politics, having supervised the transition to civil rule in 1999. He has also been involved mediating difficult electoral processes internationally and at the national and state levels as the chairman of the National Peace Committee since 2015. The general, who is only 5 months shy of 80 years of age, joined the Nigerian military in 1975. Joined the Nigerian military, this is in the 1960s, and has held various positions in the military, including the highest of Chief of Defense Staff. Providence catapulted him to the exalted position of head of state after the death of General Sani Abacha in 1998. So by all standards, age, training, and experience, General Abubakar is today a statesman who has also demonstrated great willingness to give his all for the sustenance of peace and the stability of the country. I think it is this sense of duty that has informed his decision to accept to chair the dialogue today. So before the moderator formally introduces the Wazir in Adamawa, let me welcome Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, former Vice President of Nigeria, who I must say has just returned back to the country and at a very short notice has gradually agreed to attend this event. I was talking about the difficulty we had in convincing the chair, General Abdullahi Abubakar, to attend this because he is really having a tight schedule and some personal constraints. But in spite of that, we said the nature of the topic and the difficulty the country is going, no matter what, requires his presence and experience in guiding this dialogue. So I'd like, on behalf of the Board of Daily Trust and the management, to really appreciate the General for actually being the chair of our dialogue for the second time in the last 19 years since we've been holding it. Now, those who have been attending this dialogue will have noticed that we've been promoting 3 speakers, 2 of them governors, Nasuru El-Rufai in Kaduna, and David Umahi, I believe from Ebonyi. These 2 governors both accepted to be in this event. And only in the last few days, events intervened to make it impossible for them to be here. As we speak, President Buhari is in Kaduna, visiting Kaduna, and commissioning some projects. So understandably, Malan Nasru is not able to be here because he has to be there to receive him. Governor Umahi also was suddenly called to the National Economic Council meeting, again holding today. And he has shown his preferences to attend that important forum. What we did was to ask these 2 governors, if possible, because we didn't want really representation. We said, is it possible you send us a video? Because in these days of modern technology, many things can be done without a person being present. So can you send us something? It's your voice, it's your thoughts, so that we can, as I speak, we have not received that. But you never know on modern technology. I will like to say that the 3rd speaker is here with us. We are lucky to have the presence of Mrs. Ifoko Omogi Okauru, who many of you will know from the days when she chaired the Federal Inland Revenue Services between 2004 and 2012. She's a chartered accountant, chartered tax practitioner, and management consultant. To date, she is the only female, the first actually, and the only to chair the Nigerian Joint Tax Board. She clocked 59 years about 40 days ago. I know because it's in the public sphere. Almost the same time her husband marked his 60th birthday. So though she may look younger and delicate for her age, she is well known for taking the bull by its horns. That is why, tough as tax reforms are in any public setting, she did very well at her during her tenure at the FIRS. Now, in order to make up for the possible absence of the 2 speakers, which I mentioned, we did 2 things. Invited 2 experts to be part of the panel that will x-ray this topic. One of them is Dr. Kabiru Adamu, who is a professional security and intelligence consultant, who you must have seen many times on television. He is the founder and CEO of Beacon Consulting Limited. The other personality is Dr. Murtala Rufai, an academic who lectures in the University of Sokoto, in Sokoto State University, and recently made headlines when he, from the trenches of the banditry, he published a title which he called "I Am a Bandit." I think it's worth reading, and you will have the chance to hear from him. I must also say that we have some very prominent politicians who have dealt with security in governance. So while you hear the experts and the theorists, so to say, we also have in our presence, as I said, the former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, the Governor of Borno, Professor Babagana Zulum. We expect, based on their say-so, Dr. Rabiu Musa Konkoso and Senator Rochas Okorocha. Also, as you have seen, we have the chairman of the Arewa Consultative Forum, Dr. Audu Obi. So we have this part of the program which will be handled by, we will want to hear the practical experience of this. And I would want to add that because Professor Zulum has taken the trouble, he has the same meeting the other governors are going, which starts at 11. But he has, with our understanding, with our agreement, decided to come on time so that we can allow him to say some words before he leaves to join the Economic Council meeting. So let me finally pay my respect to our father of the day, His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, and the President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Muhammadu Sa'ad Abubakar III, a retired military officer whose turban is meant to keep his lips sealed in public forums. The Sultan has refused to keep silent in the face of mounting challenges to the security of lives and properties in the country. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to sit back and listen to our chair and guest speakers as they take us through the semi-rough road to the 2023 general elections. I thank you all for attending, and I trust it will be worth your while. Thank you.